My name is Anita Locke. I'm the Lakefield Ward Councillor for the Township of Selwyn, and I've held this position since 2006. My portfolio is sustainability, culture and seniors, and so I also sit on the Municipal Heritage Committee, the Accessibility Advisory Committee, and I'm also the Township Advisor to the Peterborough Police Services Board, and I'm occasionally called upon to speak at these meetings with regards to issues involving the village of Lakefield. I think over the years, Lakefield has continued to remain the lovely community that it is. We've obviously got a lot of growth happening here with the new condominium developments, which means that we've got an increasing population. But I think it still would be important to keep in mind that we do need more long-term care beds in Lakefield with the long waiting lists, and also affordable housing. Okay, so this here is the community garden, Lakefield Community Garden at the Lakefield District Public School, and it is amazing. This is such a good example of sustainability. Sustainability is, looking after our environment, growing our own food, and I mean, this garden is just amazing. The first time that I saw it was years ago when it first started, but it's grown by leaps and bounds, and it's amazing. And all the plants are doing so well, much better than my garden at home, that's for sure. Go-to spots is definitely the Thirsty Loon. That's a great restaurant, and we meet people from out of town, and just the camaraderie and the environment of that place is wonderful. Obviously the lakes and rivers around here, I used to kayak quite a bit. And when I was younger, my dad had a boat, so we would often go on the lakes and rivers. So if we had relatives visiting from Holland or from out of town or whatever, we'd always take them for a little ride out to Stony Lake or Clear Lake or that sort of thing. Actually, I was born and raised here. My parents immigrated from Holland in the mid-1950s, and I was born in 1959 at the house that I grew up in. And so I've lived here most of my life, spent a few years living out west and a few years living outside of Peterborough, but for the most part I've always been a Lakefield girl and proud of it. Well, I have 3 kids and 6 grandkids, so whenever possible I do like to spend time with them and with my partner Dale. I like taking pictures. I have a good camera, so I love taking pictures. And then, I hate to admit it, but I'm kind of hooked on computer games, so Yahtzee and Gin Rummy and Scrabble, and kind of keeps my brain occupied and energized, and so that's what I like to do in my spare time. I would probably want to buy water wells in Africa. I would want to help build housing for people, low-income people, just generally make the world a better place. Yes. And usually if I do, it's bluegrass. My partner Dale and we play guitar, and he plays mandolin and guitar, I play guitar, and so we actually play a lot of music together. So if I'm not singing out loud, usually I'm singing in my head, and it's almost always bluegrass or old country. Fun facts, well, I've been the music director and choir director at Youngs Point United Church for just over 10 years. So I lead the choir there and the congregation, and they're a great group of people. That's amusing. So I was at church on Sunday morning, and we talking to our brand new minister, Reverend Carrie Perry, before the service, and somehow we got on the discussion about jokes. And I said, I have to come up with a joke. And I said, but I can never remember the punchline, so I can't tell jokes. She says, I'm the exact same way. So she gets up on the pulpit and she says, Anita, I remember a joke and I know the punchline. She says, how do you know that the disciples drove a Honda? And the answer, they were all in one accord.